Good morning and welcome to the joint general session of the ISO Board of Governors and Western Energy Markets governing body. Please note that today's call is being recorded and currently all attendees are in a listen-only mode. There will be opportunity for public comment throughout today's call, and we will give you instructions on how to enter the comment queue at that time. With that, I'd now like to formally begin today's call and turn it over to Roger Collington with the California ISO. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Silas, and good morning, everyone. Let me welcome you to the joint ISO Board of Governors and WEM governing body general session. I will start off with the roll call to get us underway, and then we'll turn it over to our chairs for their brief opening remarks. So with that, Chair Borenstein.
Present.
Member Campbell.
Present.
Member Decker.
Present.
Vice Chair Edo.
Present.
Governor Galetova.
Present.
Chair Konzioka.
Present.
Governor Leslie.
Present.
Member Prescott.
Present.
Governor Shorey.
Present.
And Vice Chair Wagner.
Here.
Everyone is present and or here, and we have a full complement of governing body and board members, so we may proceed. With that, let's go to agenda item number 1, which starts out with our welcome and comments from the chairs. Chair Konzioka.
Thank you, Roger. So welcome to our March meeting. Thank you for your interest in today's meeting, and should there be any items that warrant contribution, your comments are welcome and appreciated. We have a short meeting, so brief remarks. In today's meeting, we once again have an opportunity to hear directly from those on the decision-making perspectives on joining the extended day-ahead market. This is a great opportunity for us to better understand some of the key issues and dynamics in moving forward with EDAM. This concludes my remarks, and I now turn it over to Board of Governor Chair Severin Borenstein for his welcoming comments.
Thanks, Rob. And Rob stole all the things I was going to say, although I'll add, we also have the opportunity to reappoint a member of the Market Surveillance Committee, and I can't remember the number of years off the top of my head, but Ben has been around a long time. I've known him for many decades, and he's somebody I think we owe a great debt of gratitude to for all his great contributions. And I think I now turn it back to Roger.
Back to me.
To Ellie.
Yeah, right. So first we will go with our general public comment, which is part of agenda item number 1. And yeah, I'm kind of the MC on this for the joint session. So we'll so Silas, if we can check to see if there's any general public comment, that is comments that are for comments and not for items on the agenda. We'll address those as we go through the agenda.
If you would like to speak under general public comment for items not on the agenda, please press the raise hand icon at the bottom center of your Zoom screen. Or if you are dialed in through the phone only line, you can press #2 on your telephone keypad to enter the comment queue. At this time, I'm not seeing any hands up in the comment queue.
Okay, thank you, Silas. The next item is agenda item number 2, which is our joint general session minutes. And I need a motion for the February 12th, 2025 joint general session minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
I'm not sure who I heard. I heard Angelina, but someone right before that.
Angelina
It
is
was
fine.
right after.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was pretty close. I think it was in stereo then, or maybe I'm just hearing things.
It's okay.
Okay, let me go ahead and take the vote. Chair Borenstein.
Aye.
Member Campbell.
Aye.
Member Decker.
Aye.
Vice Chair Edo.
Aye.
Governor Galetova.
Aye.
Chair Konzioka.
Aye.
Governor Leslie.
Aye.
Member Prescott.
Aye.
Member Shorey.
Aye.
and Vice Chair Wagner.
Aye.
Thank you, governors and members of the governing body. The motion passes. With this, let me turn it over to our CEO for his remarks.
Thanks, Roger. Well, Chair Konzioka, Chair Bornstein, and members of the Western Energy Markets Governing Body and the CAISO Board of Governors, it's wonderful to be with you this morning. We have a light agenda for our meeting today. I want to start out by welcoming and thanking Jim Shetler from the Balancing Authority of Northern California for being here today to provide an update regarding Bank's decision to join the extended day-ahead market. And we do have one item of business related to the MSC appointment, and I can confirm that Dr. Benjamin Hobbs has served as a member of the ISO's Market Surveillance Committee since 2002, so it's 23 years of service. His current term expires on March 31st, 2025. As we all know, during his tenure on the MSC, Dr. Hobbs has provided invaluable expertise and advice to the ISO Board of Governors, the WM governing body, ISO management, and staff on numerous market issues relating to the operation of the ISO's markets. Under the tariff and the new joint authority construct, the ISO CEO does recommend joint approval by the ISO Board of Governors and WM governing body for MSC appointments. And while the appointment is typically for 3 years, Dr. Hobbs has requested no more than a 1-year term for his 3-year seat, as he intends to retire from the MSC, which I think we'll all agree will be well deserved. This provides time to replace him and to appoint a new member to complete the balance of the 3 years remaining on the term. Dr. Hobbs will remain chair of the MSC until he retires. Therefore, as outlined in the joint ISO Board of Governors and WM governing body memo, I am requesting that the ISO Board of Governors and WM governing body approve the reappointment of Dr. Hobbs as chair of the Market Surveillance Committee and authorize execution of a contract for a 1-year term. With that, Roger, I'll turn it over to you for the formalities.
Thank you, Elliot. So let's go ahead with the motion and move that the ISO Board of Governors and WEM governing body reappoint Dr. Benjamin Hobbs to the ISO Market Surveillance Committee for a 1-year term to end March 31, 2026, and move that the Chief Executive Officer is authorized and directed to enter into an appropriate consulting agreement with Dr. Hobbs to compensate him for his participation on the ISO Market Surveillance Committee. Have a motion, please.
Moved.
Second.
Second.
That's Rob.
Thank you. Chair Borenstein, your vote.
Aye.
Member Campbell.
Aye.
Member Decker. I'm sorry, Anita, I didn't hear you.
Oh, aye.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Vice Chair Edo.
Aye.
Governor Glitova.
Aye.
Chair Konzioka.
Aye.
Governor Leslie.
Aye.
Member Prescott.
Aye.
Member Shorey.
Aye.
And Vice Chair Wagner.
Aye.
Thank you, governors. Thank you, governing body members. The motion passes. Our next item is agenda item number 5, and that is for participant updates regarding decision to join EDAM or WEIM. And we have presenting today is Jim Shetler, General Manager of the Balancing Area of Northern California. Jim, are you on?
I am on. Can you hear me?
I can.
Very good. Well, first of all, good morning, everybody. I appreciate the opportunity to be here this morning and have an opportunity to talk to the Board of Governors and the governing body. I intend to keep this a pretty high-level overview of our decision-making, so I hope you won't be disappointed in not seeing reams of spreadsheets on cost-benefit analysis, but rather more focus on the policy issues that we were considering in our decision-making. Can I have the next slide, please? Next slide, please. There, and next slide. So in looking at our evaluation on participation in markets, we have some pretty foundational considerations, and they really focus around how can we improve benefits for our members, customer owners. And for public power entities, I've outlined the considerations we have, and I know Governor Shorey will be very familiar with this list. But first and foremost, it's independence and self-determination. It's ensuring that any market we join has voluntary participation and that the members, to the maximum extent possible, can retain their independent decision-making on key factors. Obviously, economic benefits are a key focus for us, minimizing any rate impacts. Reliability, though I didn't list it as one, is the top priority that we have in ensuring that any market we participate in enhances reliability. We're also looking at how can we meet both California and member goals on reducing the carbon footprint. So environmental support is a clear interest for us. And then lastly, but not least, we want to ensure that we can maintain an adequate number of trading parties as we move into a new market. Next slide, please. So looking at our evaluation approach, we did initially participate in both the development efforts for EDAM and Markets Plus. We stayed in Markets Plus in the early days. We have not been engaged in that for about the last 2 years other than monitoring it. Based on our evaluation and our transfer capabilities and the design of the markets, we believe EDAM favored our approach. We did conduct a very detailed gap analysis to identify what are the costs of transitioning from EIM into EDAM. And we had Brattle do a benefit analysis for us. And the net result of that was not a huge benefit for the bank footprint, about $5.5 million a year, but it was positive, and we felt it met our other goals. We also looked at this from our perspective of how things have worked for us within WEIM. Next slide, please. So clearly, we appreciate the voluntary nature of the EIM. That has supported one of our goals. We've certainly seen economic benefits from participating in EIM. When I looked at our original benefit analysis for participation in EIM, it was predicting around $7-8 million a year. I will be the first to acknowledge that if you look at the quarterly ISO benefit summaries, that bank comes in a little higher than that on a quarterly basis. Though I also recognize we can't do an apples to apples comparison between a production cost model run and the ISO's evaluation. However, I've yet to have any of the bank participants complain about the fact that we are an EIM. We've seen EIM demonstrate support for reliability. One of the things we've noticed as we've evaluated this is a bank tends to peak on a summer day about 60 to 90 minutes earlier than the ISO. And we've actually very actively seen the EIM manage that, help provide us cost-effective resources during our peak, and then redispatch our resources to support the ISO peak as we start to come down. We have seen reduced renewable curtailments. Obviously, our members appreciate that, and we've been able to maintain our good trading capability. Next slide, please. So in conclusion, the market, our decision was based on the market design as outlined in the tariff. The voluntary nature of the market, which we like to see has been reinforced by the Pathways Initiative proposal. Obviously, we expect continued and more efficient economic redispatch. And at least the declared footprint right now, we believe the size and diversity of that footprint supports our goals in making this market move forward. So for us, it was a pretty easy decision about moving forward with EDAM. So that's my high-level overview, and be happy to answer any questions.
Well, Jim, maybe before folks are considering, if I could, Chairs Konzioka and Chair Bornstein, just wanted to express our appreciation to you, Jim, personally, and to your team. You've just been such a fabulous partner to the CAISO on so many different dimensions, on so many issues over the years. And I think having Bank as one of our early partners and all the work that you've done to help advance the cause of EDAM, help us think about stakeholder process, all the work on pathways, and to make sure the governance and all the associated entities are moving in the right direction. Just want to express our appreciation and just looking forward to effective path towards implementation for you and your team. So thanks for being here today.
Thank you much, and we've enjoyed the working relationship. I will say, 20 years ago, if anybody told me I'd be here as an active partner supporting the ISO, I probably would have said you're crazy, but things have changed.
Good to hear.
We may still be crazy, but not for that reason.
Well, I know I am, but I've got years of
Right,
proof.
right. Well, we got some hands up in the queue, and I don't know who raised them first. So for that, I'll just take the heat later. But let me start with Rob Conzielka. You've got your hand up, Rob.
Thank you, Roger. Jim, great to see you. Appreciate this update. I like the overview. I think going over it at this speed, this level, makes it easy to absorb and appreciate where a bank is coming from. The question I had is on slide 14, you had mentioned transfer capability as one of the items. And I was wondering if you could just expand on that just a little bit, maybe provide a single example. I think that was a really interesting bullet point that was added in.
So if you look at the bank footprint, we primarily interconnect with the ISO through I think 7 or 8 different interconnection points. And we have about roughly 2,000 megawatts of transfer capability between the bank footprint and the ISO footprint. We also interconnect in the Northwest at Captain Jack. That's about, I think we have about 1,600 megawatts of transfer capability there totally. But as far as the amount of transactions we do and the interconnection, we just see a lot more transfer capability between us and the ISO.
Okay. Terrific explanation, and I can visualize that extremely well. So thank you, Jim. And again, thank you for being here today and briefing us.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Rob. John, you have your hand up.
I do. Thanks again, Jim. And yes, things do change. The question I've got, and a lot of people probably know this, but you referenced the diversity, I guess, time diversity of your load peak being a factor that with the ISO made a difference. But it kind of made me think, who are your members? Where are they generally located?
Sure. And I'll have to admit, thinking about it, when I first saw the numbers, I was a little surprised we saw that kind of variation because we're all in the Central Valley, though I recognize the ISO footprint has a lot of coastal territory as well. Our members are the Sacramento Municipal Utility District, Modesto Irrigation District, the cities of Redding, Roseville, and Shasta Lake, and Trinity Public Utility District. So we have load in the Central Valley and load in the northern part of California.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Thanks, John. Jan, you have your hand up.
Hi, Jim. First, I
Hi,
have to
Jan.
thank you. I suspect you should probably be putting in a time invoice to the ISO when I look at the amount of time that you're spending on the formation committee, the launch committee, making presentations like this. We really do appreciate your participation and your willingness to come forward. My question, and you're right, the benefits to customer owners slide brought back a lot of memories for me. One of the things that we have been trying to get better information about is the reliability benefits that people may have experienced through participation in the EIM. We've obviously done, I think, a pretty good job of trying to document the economic benefits as well as the greenhouse gas reduction benefits, because those are a little easier to count. And we recognize, or at least I recognize, no utility executive wants to stand up and say, well, we would have had a rolling blackout, but for the fact that we were connected regionally. So without going to those extremes, I was wondering, in your experience with EIM and maybe in terms of what your thinking was about going into EDAM, do you have some thoughts, advice, or practical information for us on the reliability consequences of what you've seen by being in the EIM and what you're thinking about for EDAM?
Sure, I'll give you some overview, and I know SMUD's done a little bit of more analysis, and if you're interested, we can probably follow up. Clearly, markets in and of themselves do not create reliability. I won't use a term that was used in the past.
Right.
But what we have seen is that the efficient use of markets can support reliability. We are seeing that in summer peak days, as I mentioned, with the difference in the peaks we've seen between bank and the ISO. And we've seen it also in some of the emergency situations we've seen in the West in the last couple of years with the heat waves and also the cold wave in the Northwest, where when you look at what EIM did as far as redispatch, it did support those utilities and their reliability. And I believe your staff has done some detailed analysis on that as well. That we do see it, yes.
Good, thank you.
And
Chair Borenstein, I see your hand is up.
actually, I was trying to ask exactly the same question as Jan about reliability, and thank you. That's great. So I will just say, and thank you for the vote of confidence in the EDAM and support. I think that bank plays a major role, and that is something that people around the West see.
Oh, thank you, appreciate that.
Thank you, Chair Borenstein. I don't know if you guys could see, but my comfort dog visited me. He's my board comfort dog. He decided to take a look, and I think he had a question, but then he didn't get it out. Excuse me. Is there anyone, board members or governing body, that has any other comments or questions for Jim? Okay, hearing none. Silas, can we check to see if there's any public comment or questions for Jim?
If you would like to make a public comment, you can press the raise hand icon at the bottom center of your Zoom screen, or you can press #2 if you are dialed in through the phone only line. At this time, we do not have any hands up in the comment queue.
Great. Thank you, Silas. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. Your
you.
comments and your presentation. Our next agenda item is informational reports, and this is an opportunity. I'm sorry, did I hear something?
Oh, nothing. It was just me saying thank you, Jim.
Oh, great.
Sorry.
Yeah, sometimes you end up going a little too fast, and so I didn't want to run over anyone. So agenda item number 6 is informational reports, and this is an opportunity if there's any questions on the informational reports that we have submitted to the board and to the governing body. Okay, seeing none. The next agenda item, number 7, is an opportunity for the board or the governing body to note future agenda items that they would like to see. Any suggestions for future agenda items? Okay, well, we are ready to adjourn, and highlighted on my notes here is to remind you to stay on this line, and the next meeting is supposed to start, the board meeting is supposed to start at noon. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.